Shalom, call halal Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kwadash. Double honors into the apostles, double honors into the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedoms to do so. Now more so than ever, the would-be judges, the 144,000, and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen nations that have the appearance of those heathen nations. This is not a black thing. And to the few akwaf that are listening and learning to you, I say shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth and end-day prophecy. And I want to read James, the 5th chapter. Right, because there's no more wisdom left in teeming. And the very people who caused this upcoming crash are the people who are trying to reboot and set up a new system. All right, so who in their right mind would listen to them? All right, but this is James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered. The rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You have heaped treasures together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which you kept back by fraud, crieth. And the cries of them which reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. You have lived in pleasure on earth and been wanton. You have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. You have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. All right, so you've committed all these atrocities against the people, created all this bureaucracy, red tape, and loopholes for yourselves, and kept back the money from the people by fraud, right? Took the actual currency and devalued it and collected it while it was devalued, knowing that it actually had value, while you made everyone else use something that you had 100% control over that has no value at all. All right, and then, like I said, through these unrighteous decrees, you swindle the people out of their money through your tax laws and your different subsidies, your different systems that you set up to rob the people. You know, the IRS, the Federal Reserve, the Title 4D programs, all these sort of things. Let's go to Sirach. Then we'll play a few minutes of this video, the first few minutes. In second Ezra, I'm supposed to go to Sirach. Yeah, and this is Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach 34, and I'm going to start at verse 21, and it reads, the bread of the needy is their life. He that defraudeth him thereof is a man of blood. So defrauding the people of their money, you know, income taxes, property taxes, where you have to pay rent eternally, you know, so it seems, on a property that you pay for. You're nothing but a renter. You're renting your own property because you know you have and so many people have lost their homes that were left to them by their families or whatever, you know, or that they actually paid for, and then they come upon hard times where they're not making the same money anymore, and the house that you paid for, that you actually have the documents to show that you bought the house, you paid for the house, or you now own it, becomes null and void when you can't pay them their taxes. And I do believe that America is the only country in the world that does that. Man. And he that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him. And he that defraudeth a laborer of his hire is a bloodshedder. So these Title 4D programs where they're taking men's hard-earned money, where some of them would become homeless, commit suicide, or can no longer take care of themselves, and then they get locked up, get put in jail. All right, that's a vicious, cruel system. All right. Which one buildeth and another pulleth down? What profit have they but labor? All right, so these people are they're wicked, and this cruelty and this very system that really makes no sense whatsoever is beginning to implode and collapse upon itself. And they're at the PNR, the point of no return.
Ladies and gentlemen, the financial system is on life support, and the cracks are turning into full-blown fractures. Markets are tanking, inflation is squeezing the middle class, and the same too-big-to-fail banks that triggered past crises are now bigger, riskier, and more reckless than ever. The so-called experts tell us to stay calm, but we've seen this before. Bubbles don't pop slowly, they explode, and when they do, retirement savings, pensions, and the entire economy go up in flames. This isn't just another downturn. This is the engineered collapse they've been planning, a reset designed to strip wealth from everyday Americans while the elites consolidate power. The Federal Reserve will step in with their usual tricks, printing more money, bailing out their corporate cronies. But that won't stop what's coming. The debt is unsustainable. The derivatives market is a ticking time bomb. And when it all comes crashing down, they'll tell you it was an accident. But we know better.
This coming crash will wipe out the entire U.S. financial sector and take with it savings, deposits, retirement funds, pensions. It'll be nothing short of a financial bloodbath.
This is Revelation 13. And we'll start at verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the BESAT, and that the image of the BESAT shall both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the BEST should be killed. So they're going to violently enforce this thing. They're trying to bring this order out of the chaos that they're creating. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and small, rich and poor, free and bond, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a MARK, the charagma, in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the MARK, the charagma, or the name of the BEST, or the number of his name. So you have to get that thing implanted in you electronically to participate in this new system. So this crash is orchestrated, but they won't be able to control it like they think they will. All right. And a lot of death, a lot of chaos, apocalyptic movie type things are going to be happening in real life, and they're going to be way worse than any other time. Let's go to about the, right about almost at the 9-minute mark here.
Get
in a freaking
matched today with the
commercial.
tax
Son of a
expert who's
bastard,
just
you
right for your situation. They'll do your taxes.
Oh, shut up.
Unsustainable size. This will make the Great Depression of the 30s and the Great Recession of 2008 feel like a picnic. So what would a crash look like?
9:51 a.m. New York. Dow futures fall 850 points in the first 20 minutes of trading. Markets are halted for 1 hour by the authorities. 10 a.m. Main Street, America. The news about the stock market now spread. A panic begins to sit in as unprepared Americans rush to the grocery store in an attempt to purchase food and water.
This is the majority of people, because the majority of people will scoff or has scoffed and said that talk like this, it would never happen, not in America. That's not real, you know. And then you have the prepping community. So you have to think that the people who are planning this so that they can get absolute 100% control and get around the law of the land to create a new law. because the old way is not working anymore. And they're orchestrating the issues and the problems to make sure that the old way isn't working anymore. They're going to have to wear out the preppers too. All right, because the mass majority of people are completely not ready for what's to come. They don't have extra food. They don't have, then you got the, it's crazy how America has more guns than people, but you still have a portion of the population that don't own guns. That's and so those are going to be the first victims. All right, because the people with guns, they're going to kick in your doors, rob and spoil your houses. All right, for your food and services, and you're going to be totally at their mercy, and they're going to show you none. They're going to drink all your water, eat all your food. All right, they're going to have their way with your wives and daughters. All right, that's what they're going to do. And they're going to put people to death, and cannibalism is going to return too. So it's going to get crazy. The scripture has to come to pass when it says there's going to be a time like there's no time. That like that has, I'll probably end up reading that. All right.
Americans that didn't know what was going on are alerted by all of the news stories and panic buying. Within 50 minutes, there's a nationwide rush.
And a lot of those people are going to be Christians. A lot of Christians and a lot of the members of IUIC, ISUPK, and a lot of other churches that are not warning. All right. That are doing videos debating about things that aren't even pertaining to salvation, just for views, and not really alerting the people and getting their minds ready with the new song, with the new gospel. All right, and the only people that are looking forward to this are the people who are of the hopeful elect, because we know and understand that we have to go through these crazy birth pains. This baby of chaos has to be born in order for us to see salvation. Right? The straight gate. There's no other way to the kingdom of heaven except going through the straight gate. And I mean, the straight meaning S-T-R-A-I-T, the hard times. We have to go through this time like there's never been. All right? And have complete and total faith in the Lord. I'm not going to depend on my, I'm an older dude, man. I'm not a young guy anymore, man. All right, so I'm not going to depend on my fighting skills and all that other, on my guns and all that. No, man, you got to depend on the Lord. David, the mightiest man that ever walked the earth, he didn't depend on his sword, on his spear, on his staff, all right, on his bow of iron. All right, no matter how much skill he had with those things, he depended on Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai? And that's the only way through this. There is no other way. Okay? Because you can be the mightiest of the mighty. You still will fall. Samson still fell. All right? And it's not like anyone's gonna be fair. There's no referee, no ring, no referee. So, you can't depend on carnality. And people who do, well, you're going to go out in a you're going to be like one of those crazy gladiators back in the day who just wanted a glorious death in the arena. 'Cause that's about all you can do. The one Maccabee brother who went out, in a glorious death, trying to make a name for himself, getting out of line and not following the Lord holy. He tried to do his own thing. This ain't the time to be doing your own thing. All right. This is not the time to not be doing your videos and not be, doing the work, not being responsible in the spirit, not being accountable in the spirit. Okay.
To the stores. Empty store shelves in America become a reality. 10:52 a.m. New York. Points reopen and the Dow Jones resumes its collapse. Investors around the world join the sell-off in bonds and stocks and begin to purchase commodities. Unlike the panic of 2008, this time commodities are seen as the only safe haven from a dollar crisis. 11:30 a.m., New York. The Dow falls 1,700